Hi guys, I just wanted to show you one of the CRMs that we use to manage the cars from just a stock option. And this is what I kind of need you to create in a more simplified version for the email outgoings. So this is a list of, for example, of cars, active, sold, whatever. So in your case, it doesn't really matter, but but in this, the principle does. So you could create new stock vehicle. So this is a way that you would add it up, add into the system. For example, Toyota, uh, Corona, whatever. No, bad example, too old. Corolla, 2015, Accent Sport. So all of this information on the right-hand side, that comes from Redbook. We don't need to worry about that. We just need a basic drop down like this, that we could either drop down or manually fill in, and this can be part of the learning database link to cars. As we build them in this system, the learning database will also learn them as well. Okay, so we then, in this case, it just requires you to select it to proceed, but in our case, we won't need this component. Um, Registration details, expiry details, which is all the information I told you. These are the trigger points for a lot of the email out component. Color, bill date, compliance, etc. All of this very important information that we'll need part of the automation. There's just more details about the car itself. Equipment not important for our side of the system for the moment. Again, advertising not important. And the acquisition for this CRM is not important. I just wanted to show you this system so you can see it. I'm going to cancel this one. Now, once a car has been added, when you go into in this instance, it's a sale. This is where you add the consumer, so which is in my case a client. We can reverse it and create the customer first and then the car, or if it's easier to create the car and then add the customer to it, I don't care, as long as we do it in a similar fashion. So you can select an existing customer, you can search for that person, because the way you've got the drop down box at the moment, that's just not okay. As I said, if you've got 10 cars for the moment, okay, whatever, potentially, but the way that the drop down box here is, you can have 10 exactly the same Toyota RAV4s based on the description, and there's an impossible way to be able to link it to the customer, because all of this individual information about individual registration and all of that, that's all trigger dates. So you can create a new contact, or select an existing contact, which is a client, as we discussed. So this will also reflect from what I sent you previously with all the dates. If there's a finance on it, the date transaction occurred, and lead source, whatever. Next, price, and extras. This is the component for warranties, whatever else that's been selected. Okay, so all of this information is all those trigger points. So we need to be able to do in a similar fashion where we can create either the vehicle or the customer, and that will save the overall file. And within that, we'll have all those 18 or so whatever dates as we work through, and all those dates will be the rules that will be trigger points. Okay, I'm just going to close this window not to save it, because at the moment, editing client, all of this information is great. Business facts and some of the other bits and pieces potentially might not be important, but the vehicle is here. So just to be able to link a vehicle, you have to be able to add a vehicle if it doesn't already exist. There's no point in for me to go around back into admin components, create a vehicle, then go back into the client and edit the link the vehicle. It should all be doable from within the client window. Okay, I hope this makes sense.